Now, happy day, everybody. Happy Woodstock weekend. I got some friends out there, some old friends. Wayne Ferris is there. And Jolly said she's up there and she's going to do some serious boltering, which is kind of dancing badly. Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about real things a little bit. Um, where to start? Real things has never been anything but me and anybody willing to hang out and do something with me. That's all Real Things has ever been. A lot of folks, I've done a lot of shows with people, that were, this is my stuff, this is your stuff, and let's work together. And I've helped a few people along the way, and a lot of people have helped me along the way. And I've got a bunch of people getting involved now. Manny's been around. His computer's now on my desk. Hopefully we can get it going. So that we'll have something both of us can work with when he's here. It's password protected. I gotta bust into it, or I have to just like find another operating system to put on it. I might try and find some Ubuntu or something, but I can't even get it to boot into the command prompt, and I don't want to pay Hewlett Packard for a paid session. I want to try and get them to tell me how to do this without paying them for the privilege. Now they helped me fix this one up. Okay, I still need to get them to. This is wireless. That's the wireless adapter. But it's password protected. I've got a printer here that I haven't tested it yet. See if it's I got it cabled. It's a wireless printer, but I've got it cabled to the machine now. So I get a lot of feedback, negative feedback about the cleanliness of my environment. And let me read a few things to you. This is what I just wrote. I did a walkthrough video this morning after Britta and I did some serious cleaning in here. We got all the rubbish out. Oh shit, it didn't post. Son of a bitch. Oh, I'm still waiting for it to load. That's right, here it is. So here's what I'm posting. I tagged a bunch of people and to the video to make sure they saw it. And here's what I wrote with it. Being by gender has its advantages because I can fulfill male or female roles and see sex-gender related issues from the perspective of either sex. This is what makes us special to societies that don't have their heads up their ass and are like being slaves to imperialist oligarchs. That we aren't either one of them, and we can kind of relate to both. The downside is that I can't do both, and when I'm living alone, my male self is a slob as a defensive mechanism, and my female side refuses to do the cleaning, hence the awful mess you see in a lot of my videos. I used to let myself get real smelly when I was, when I was outdoors, living outdoors. It was hard to do your laundry and bathe, especially laundry when you're homeless. Really down, and there's no place to do it hardly, unless you're willing to submit to the homeless industrial complex. Walk through scanners and shit to take a shower. So anyway, Rachel Lukey was telling me something I already knew about my chances of finding the right kinds of roommates with the kind of mess I live in, which I think I already have in Kevin and Britta. They keep a neat house, and they've got a 2-bedroom that they're renting very close there. We'll just start operating both spaces as one family. Britta and I worked together for a couple hours today and got all the rubbish out and the dishes and floors done. I just pulled an all-nighter, and I'm going to set up a yard sale in a little while when it's full light. It's almost full light now. By 6, I'm going to want to be out there. It's 5:42. Basically, I'm going to do this real quickly and upload it, and then just get busy and start get busy and start looking like I'm wanting to make money with the shit I'm laying out in front of my house. Early bird catches the worm, you know. Steve and Stacy are sympathetic because their place is pretty overwhelmed with things they salvage from their business. The McCoys are considering attempting to roost in Tucson. They weren't happy with where they were, just trying to put down some roots. Quinn and Lori have agreed to do some trading with me, and I'm hoping I can talk Ferguson and Jen into organizing some native metal and stone artisans into showing with us next winter. I did a really good piece. I mean, I'm proud of this. This is a good piece, and I'm gonna add to this a lot. I started a Woodstock piece. 3 days of peace, love, and music in the August of 1969 have been steadily changing the world ever since, spawning the Grateful Dead tour and other tour band family scenes. More importantly for the counterculture, Woodstock spawned what Rainbow A Day, one of the founders of the Woodstock Earth family, calls the Woodstock Notion in Motion. Independently produced festivals, often raising funds for nonprofits, like my dear friend Dennis Frederick, who is celebrating his 70th birthday this weekend at a show in Chicago. I should look that up while I'm running the... whatever, look at my page on the events. It's been involved with since before we met in 1989. And ongoing parties like Top Dead Pelicans, Mike and Randy's 420 show. Top Dead Pelicans is this week, I guess. They don't... Mike does, or Randy does... Mike's dead. And he's been dead for 4 years now. Randy doesn't always get the same guys. And like even his son Ray can't play every week because he's got conflicting gigs. Because this is like just totally a pickup band thing that they do. It's just pretty much whoever's available plays. So this week it's called Top Dead Pelicans at the Hut, and they play at the Hut every Saturday afternoon. They call it for 420, but they rarely get going before 5. And we call it hippie time. Top Dead Center has been together for over 17 years, and their leader Randy Clemens is the only one of my living friends I'm certain was there at the first Woodstock. I'm pretty sure there are others, but Randy has spoken about it recently. There are a fair number of folks who've been to the later reunions, and there are a mess of them there right now, like Wayne Ferris and Jolly LaBonne, who is determined to do some intense baltering this weekend, as she always does. I didn't get there until 1989, which was my Elvis year, as the lead vehicle in a David Williams trip called the Red World Peace Tour, after having followed a single flyer and word of mouth straight to the pasture on Herd Road all the way across country. Rather than go into detail, I'll save that for the conversation later and just say that I made it to the 25th, 30th, and about half of the others in between, and start my Woodstock weekend tribute with Jimi Hendrix playing the Star-Spangled Banner. I accompanied the late Joseph Greenfeather on bagpipes on that with the ebony pipe that disappeared in the mansion on Sheridan Road, where I met Dennis shortly afterward to open the 25th reunion at Gasker's Farm. When I tried to get up on stage with Randy and the guys for a 4th of July or Memorial Day or something, I don't know. It was just appropriate for the day of the show, right? I tried to play it. They didn't know it. Horn was leaking too bad for me to fake it over the wrong shit that they were playing, so I quit in the middle, and I haven't tried to get up on stage with them since. Sometimes I'll noodle on the recorder when they're playing, but I don't know if they can hear me or not. Oh no, I do know if they can hear me or not, because I've talked to Stephen about it. St. Stephen James, the bass player. He said he's heard it. I think Randy's told me that he could hear me too. It's kind of hard to miss it sometimes if I'm really like kicking on it. I've been at like at Fonty Fox's Halloween party, is Come As You Aren't Halloween party. Boy, there was a drummer named Lorenzo. Yeah, I think his name was Lorenzo, who was just fabulous. And a bass player that he always played with, I forget that guy's name. and all sorts of any number of guitar players and singers and harps and shit. And all I had was a recorder. And I was up on stage with them guys, totally electric band with just a recorder. And it was getting up. It was like they carry, the electric sound would carry it right out over the whole field. People said they could hear me from the back of the yard. So anyway, moving right along. For the folks who give extra credit for veterans and didn't know it, Jimi Hendrix was in the Army. It was one of those things that go to jail or the Army thing, and they let him go after a year with an honorable discharge. Here's a piece that I found somewhere about joining the Army. Hendrix was in trouble with the law for riding in a stolen car twice and was given the choice of 2 years in jail or joining the Army. He enlisted on May 31st, 1961. My cousin got to go to Vietnam that way on a dope charge. And he had the honor of being at the siege of Hue when they were getting overrun, and witnessed. Well, he didn't actually see him do it. The major told him to leave. So he was a Radar O'Reilly for a combat battalion, and the colonel was locked in his office like the colonels used to do in MASH I think it was MASH or Catch 22. I forget which ones the colonels always hid out. It was Catch 22. The colonels were always hiding from somebody. Or there's one major. I forget what it was. Yeah, it was major was always hiding. He didn't want anybody coming. And the colonel for Stevens Battalion was not taking visitors at the moment. And guy comes in demanding to see him, and pulled his 1911, I think it's called, the 45 caliber, the sidearm that those guys carry, and stuck it right. Kind of slammed the slide back and stuck it right in Stevens' nose. So I'm gonna go see the colonel. What are you gonna do? And he says, I think I'll go get some coffee. And he come back, and the colonel's head was splashed all over the wall. See him come home with a monkey on his back, good old Poppy Bliss's products. That's, if you're wondering why we're in Afghanistan now, that's a big part of it. And why they didn't pull out. They didn't want to leave the poppy fields unprotected. They're selling more heroin than they ever have before. So anyway, moving right along. Hendrix he was assigned to the 101st Airborne Division after basic training. Hendrix was stationed in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. He was no Army material because he had little regard for regulations, slept on duty, and showed no marksmanship. Not liked by most other soldiers and bullied by others, he made friends with a heavyweight boxer, Raymond Ross, and a bassist, Billy Cox. Hendrix and Cox often performed with other soldiers off the base. His friendship lasted with them until shortly before his death. After 1 year of service, Hendrix was honorably discharged. And that come from an interesting site called Star Wars on psu.edu. It's a big public site. Then I did, and then I posted a link to the official commercial site, Woodstock.com, and with the lineup, and then a link to the Yasker Road reunion that Gerald Abramson is doing on Yasker's farm. And Richie Havens opened the show, so I posted that set list, and Freedom, which is what he closed with. That's what most people, when they think of Richie Havens and Woodstock, they think of his just so much passion in the way he played. Here, let me play it while I got the video on it. This is one of my top 10. This is up there with Janice. Oh shit, they got. Well, that's interesting. Is here's this supposedly official Woodstock site, and they're selling shit on it. Let's see who is it? They're selling T-shirts and bumper stickers and shit. I don't know who it is, but whoever it is doesn't have the rights to play Richie's Freedom from. You can find it at YouTube. Oh boy. So what else is going on? Oh yeah, Rachel Lukey asked me one of my most frequently asked questions. Are you a person with more than one personality? Yes and no. I'm 100% female in spirit. I just like to establish a particular boundary to behaviors people elicit from me that are not appropriate to a sane and classy woman. So I blame him on Tom when it happens. I've only recently copped to calling myself bigender, and that's mainly for diplomatic reasons with transsexuals who are real committed to their femininity. I'm pretty butch for the fashionistas to have any credibility without copping to my inferiority to them on that item, especially since I'm so naturally gorgeous and my hooters are shaping up so nicely. I'm a genuine acid test passer and first generation rainbow family deadhead hippie hamster, and it's Woodstock weekend this week. People label themselves in hippie circles, and other people should accept and respect everybody's definitions of themselves. I'll read the late bloomer manifesto. This is so important, not just to the late bloomers, not just to transgender people, but to everybody. Everybody needs to treat each other this way. We definitely need to avoid criticizing things in a way that wrongfully defines a whole class because of a portion of the individuals in it. To expand on my answer to Rachel, hippie chicks just don't paint their faces, wear spiked heels, corsets, or falsies. Very few wigs, too. It's too damn hot here right now for makeup or wigs anyway. Lots of us don't even wear bras, like me. And there's some women that are impressed. Excuse me, some of my friends are impressed. And even ones with bigger ones. Because mine stand up on their own. They've had kids and stuff sucking on them and everything. I got teeny bopper titties. Anyway, moving right along. Lots of us don't, and a lot of the cis women are much crustier than me, like my dear friends Aletha Johnson and Jolly Love Vaughn, who's currently at Bethel for this year's Woodstock weekend, and 3 days of serious binging and bouldering. And Natalie Hively is another real crusty hippie chick. She liked it within minutes. I'm not going to deny any of my transsexual siblings their feelings about their own womanhood, but that's not really me. I'm okay with my penis for now, and I'm waiting on the star people to fix that. I have a distinct male side that I can't honestly deny. You know, I couldn't just unzip my male suit, you know. It's better to warn people about Tom. Tom is no fun for anybody, especially not me. And if Tom has to kill somebody to escape from them, I may not get my plumbing repaired when the star people get back, so please don't make me be Tom. And I see one of my favorite crusty hippie chicks, Natalie Hively, has already liked this one. We'll see how many of the 420 family and Rainbow Sisters elsewhere check in on this. Now, I had a thought about Molly Swingle Bednar that I thought better of posting it, but I think I got the nerve to talk about it because she's real butch, and she's probably the butchest mama I know. I mean, she's got kids, and she's like a ranch mama is what she is. She's got the big SUV, all the she just hauled all the kids off. Louie just started kindergarten. And if you didn't know about the kids and her old man, and you just saw her standing there partying, drinking with everybody, you'd think she was a dyke. But anyway, I didn't think that would be appropriate to write about. But talking about it, I know she's gonna get a giggle from that if she watches it. Because that's what she is, a ranch mama. I think she grew up a ranch. She plays golf. I don't know. She's something. They just spent some time up in Oregon with her family. I think it was her family because there was a lot of toe-headed kids around there. Boy, now I was getting so jealous of them pictures. Boy, all that wood, all those woods and water and feeding a deer and shit. White, on the water floating and stuff. Shit. I was like, and here I am. And at least it's been a kind of mild summer. But everybody else is getting roasted from. We got an El Nino, so we're mild. It's hardly. We only had 1 week over 110, and it's hardly getting up past 105. Doesn't even get to 100 every day. So anyway, people I know are much more concerned with comfort than appearance. Though hippies do love their tie-dyes and loud Aboriginal garments from exotic places, I mean, it's why you're going to make a fashion statement. It's still, there's more comfortable clothing. There's more, the comfort. I can't wear synthetics, for instance, because I break out. And then a brain fart had come out. I had a long conversation with Rachel Lukey about quilt bag versus LGBT. Now she's not going to get off the LGBT in favor of quilt bag, and I don't blame her because she's got a lot of invested in it. But I intend to stay with quilt bag because I'm not LRG. I'm a T and an I. I'm a it. I'm an I and a T. I'm intersex and transgender. So with LGBTs, they're trying to avoid that kind of terminology. I don't blame them, especially the transsexuals. But I'm intersex and I'm comfortable with what I am, and people are comfortable with me. So that's where I'm coming from, and I really don't want to be associated with polyamorous people when people think of me, and I don't really, engaging in the person comes to mind when people think of transgender people is like, drag queens and porn stars, and I don't want to be a part of that, and I'm just, I'm monogamous, and I'm kind of a man, but I'm heterosexual too, so it's acting the man with a vagina, or a really masculine woman. So I just feel, and all of us, transgender people, especially the transsexuals, feel the same way, as that we have special issues, because you can go and boink whoever you want behind a closed door, and nobody's going to know. But this is a self-identity thing. This is what I am. This is what we are. And some of us need to have some real serious modifications done to our bodies to be able to live comfortably within our skin. And the issues are much more complex than just, same-sex marriage and all of that. Because we're talking about body modifications. We're talking about, for me, being able to call myself female even though I have a penis. So there's a lot of people, you got that whole crowd, cis scum, real exception, exclusivist, isolationist transgender people in here. Me and my friends are trying to say, hey, look, it's a tiny minority. This was a real strong point that Rachel made toward me, was how I'm usually the one that brings it up first, is that we're a tiny minority. Less than 1% of all the people identify as transgender, and I don't think there's more. I don't know what it is these days that the total of people that identify as LGBTQIA, BCDA, I don't know what. It's probably, I'm sure it's no more than 30%. We are the minority. We have to respect the majority. We cannot impose our will on a majority in a way that's going to infringe on their rights. This is the whole bathroom issue. Fortunately, we're winning because it's so stupid. Even Fox News knew that was a stupid one. They're claiming all the wrong things about us, and it's stupid because all the things they're worried about people doing that are pretending to be us are things that are already illegal. That look like somebody who wants me. Who's this? Oh, David Price. Okay, I really fucked up tonight. I didn't realize. Let me see how far it is. And I didn't want to make a long one. Yeah, it's already 24 minutes. I fucked up tonight, and I didn't realize that when you send media to a group, you are starting a group chat. I just totally didn't realize that, because in Hotmail, and Gmail for Skype and Google Plus. When you send a group like that, it only goes to the people in the group, and then the individuals don't see everybody else's responses unless they opt into the thread that I started at Skype or in my group at Skype or at Hotmail. You're not stuck there. You have to opt in. I think at Skype you're stuck, but it's easy to just, everybody knows. Anybody who uses Skype, oh, well, I don't want to be involved in this shit. I'm gone. I think the same kind of thing with Twitter. I don't know, because I don't use Twitter, and I'm not really using Skype. And nobody's using Google Plus much, so I didn't know that happened in Facebook, so like, sorry, folks. Thanks for understanding. If I lost any friends from it, oh well, I didn't want friends like you anyway who would get so bent out of shape about something like that. Happy day, bye. Thanks for watching.